I lived with my aunt, who lived in a rural city, and I biked to get to work. The route I took to get to/from work was through a very natural woody area that was not very populated, didn't have a lot of streetlights, and was a sort of isolated route in that cars barely drove down that way. And part of the route cuts through a large forested area. One night I was biking home and I got to the wooded part of the route. Before going down the sloped area, I paused to take my phone out and put my earbuds in to listen to music. As I went to take out my phone, the sound of a branch snapping got my attention. I looked up, and only a few feet from me was this tall, pale, bone-thin creature standing off to the side of the trail but still on the sidewalk. It had large black eyes, no nose, and a thin slit for a mouth. Its hands were extremely long and had large clawed fingers, and it was standing in a kind of squatted, semi-crawling posture. Before I could even react to what I was seeing, it let out a loud screech, and at an insane speed, it leapt or moved quickly into the brush, into the denser areas beyond the trail. Hearing the screech sent me into a panic, and my flight response kicked in. I just pedaled as fast as I could through the forested area. The whole time, I could hear large branches and dried leaves being snapped, broken, and the sounds of something large moving through the forest alongside me, as if it were giving chase but not wanting to be seen, if that makes sense. I got through the forest area, which then opened up into a residential kind of area, where there were a few streetlights and homes off in the distance. I wound up stopping underneath a streetlight and looked back at the forest line, and I saw the figure squatted down at the edge of the forest just watching me intently. After catching my breath, I sped back home to my aunt's house, threw my bike in the garage, closed it, and rushed inside, locking every door and window I could. I then ran up to my bedroom, locked the door, and refused to sleep that night. Sharing this experience always ends up making me do it anyway. Lol. I did see the creature one other time, a few weeks later in my aunt's backyard, staring up at the window of my bedroom, but I haven't seen it since. I do 100% believe that it was a subterranean cryptid or creature due to its appearance, but also the fact that the area it happened in has a few trails that wind up going underground through some underground tunnels. It just so happened that the city was doing some construction on some of those tunnels and the area of the trail, and I think that the construction had probably caused it to come out to the surface or agitated it enough for it to come out of hiding, and I just happened to be at the right place at the wrong time.